Hello my dear learners. In this video, we are going to talk about a poem, Vocation, and the poet of this poem is Rabindranath Tagore. This is a long poem in which a young and innocent child expresses his desires without knowing the harsh reality of the world. However, on the other hand, the poem also highlights the treatment of child by their parents and teachers. Now let's talk about the poet Rabindranath Tagore. He was a he was the Indian poet, writer, playwright, composer, philosopher, social reformer, and painter. He was born on 7th of May 1861 in Kolkata. He was died on 7th of August 1941 in Kolkata. In 1913, he became the first non-European to receive the Nobel Prize for Literature. Now, let's start with the poem. When the gong sounds 10 in the morning and I walk to school by early. Every day I meet the hawker crying, bangles, crystal bangles. There is nothing to hurry him on, there is no road he must take, no place he must go to, no time when he must come home. I wish I were a hawker, spending my day in the road crying, bangles, crystal bangles. In the first stranger, the young child says that when it is 10 o'clock in the morning, the gong is the alarm clock, starts ringing and he walks to school on the same way. This is his everyday routine. And according to him, every day he meets a hawker. Hawker is one who sells things by shouting. He meets a hawker every day on the way who keeps crying bangles, crystal bangles in order to sell them. Seeing him, the child thinks that the bangle seller has no hurry. Like child was always in hurry in order to go to school. But he thinks that the bangle seller has no hurry. He is not bound to take the same road like the child himself takes to school. And he go to the same school every day and return back home. For the child, a hawker, which is the Bengal sailor, lives an independent life and does whatever he likes. This makes the child think if he were a hawker, he too would have enjoyed his life by crying bangles, crystal bangles on the road and doing whatever he likes. The last stranger shows that the child was innocent and does not know the harsh reality of the hawker's life. It also reveals that the strict rules under which a child is kept. It looks like his parents are too strict and he feels to be trapped in his house. That's why he wants to become a hawker. Now let's see the next stranger. When at 4 in the afternoon I come back from the school, I can see through the gate of that house the gardener digging the ground. He does what he likes with his spade. He soils his clothes with dust. Nobody takes him to task. If he gets wet in the sun or gets wet, I wish I were a gardener, digging away at the garden with nobody to stop me from digging. In this stranger, the child talks about when he returns back home from the school at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There he sees a gardener digging the ground through the gate of a nearby house. Again, the child thinks that the gardener does whatever he desires. He makes his clothes dirty with the soil. No one forces him to do his tasks, though it may be a sunny day or a rainy day. In other words, the child thinks that the gardener is free and has no one to give orders. This makes the child desire if he were a gardener, he too would have been digging the ground and no one would be there to stop him from doing so. Again, in this stanza, the innocence of child is seen here. He is not aware of the poverty of the gardener. However, it looks like the parents of the child are strict towards him and stops him from every type of freedom. Last stanza is just as it gets dark in the evening and my mother sends me to bed, I can see through my open window the watchman walking up and down. The lane is dark and lonely, and the street lamp stands like a giant one with one red eye in its head. The watchman swings his lantern and walks with his shadow at his side, and never once goes to bed in his life. I wish I were a watchman walking the street all night, chasing the shadows with my lantern. In this stranger, the child talks about when it is night, the mother of the child sends him to bed for sleeping. While on the bed, the child sees through the open window the watchman walking up and down. According to the child, the road is dark and there is no one walking on it. The street lamp looks like a big giant with one red eye in his head. Red eye here, red eye refers to bulb. On his head is on the top there is a bulb. The watchman keeps walking with the lantern in his hand and his shadow behind him. According to the child, the watchman never goes to bed, unlike him. This makes him to desire if he were a watchman, he too would have been walking the street all night, chasing his shadow with his lantern. This stranger also reveals the hidden desires of the child. He does not want to go to the bed at night. Instead, he desires to enjoy the loneliness and the darkness. As he is innocent, he does not know that the watchman sleeps during the daytime, and also that he is poor and night job is not as easy as it seems. So that's it about the poem. Thanks for watching.